got your attention now, don't I?
This is the Black Rifle Coffee Podcast. Prepare to get caffeinated.
Hell yeah. Welcome to the Black Rifle Coffee Podcast. I'm here with the world's greatest motocross rider, Tyler Bierman.
Trevor Bierman.
Tucky Bierman.
How many Biermans did you have on that trip?
Oh, well, you know, actually, I came up with a new name every time. Fred Bierman was my favorite.
It's probably like
Ron Bierman.
14 different Biermans.
Yeah, this isn't, if you're not into moto, this definitely isn't Tyler Bierman.
No.
Tyler looks like,
I don't have the blonde, luscious locks.
He looks like a surfer.
Yeah, he does.
Not a moto rider. He looks like somebody that would ask you for some change.
Yeah. The car park down at Venice Beach.
This is Mr. Blake Williams. Now, the thing is we'll get to your history. We'll make it short because that's not going to be the fun part of this.
I'll just let you roll with it.
You're an awesome motocross. You have like 40 gold medals.
No,
at
I only
X
got
Games
one.
and
Sheeny's got heaps more than me. I got heaps of silvers. I'm like always the bridesmaid.
But you did have a wedding day.
I in court I did. It's usually how most marriages end, but yeah, no.
The gold medal. Which one was that for?
2009 Freestyle Motocross at X Games. So it was actually pretty cool. I was the first non-American to win freestyle, which was pretty cool because they pretty much ruled the sport for years, and so they make it a little hard for foreigners to come in and
but now you guys are ruling the sport because every top name is an Australian.
I think fast forward, it might have been Austin 2015, and there was a picture of all the Aussie athletes. Me and Harry were standing off to the side with no medals, but Clint had 3 bronzes, Sheeny had a gold and a silver, Jacko had a gold, and it was basically, I think, 12 of the 15.
So you've taken it back.
12 of the 15 motocross sport medals were for Aussies. Jared won gold in whip and step up. So yeah, it was basically an Aussie domination, and it still is. I don't think there was one American in freestyle this year at X Games.
But so then at what point did Australia just adopt freestyle motocross? Because you're pretty much like Canadians with hockey.
And we're a little bit further away, a little bit secluded. But I think what it is it just took us a little bit longer to catch up and get our foot in the door. And then that natural stupidity and just balls to the wall, send-it attitude of Aussies just fit right into freestyle.
Is it just there's not much to do in some of the outskirts?
That too. I mean, Jacko gets himself in a lot of trouble because he's very bored on his big property in the middle of nowhere. So, but yeah, just growing up with land and stuff, we all start riding early. And like I said, that stupidity that we have that just makes you want to send it either for the boys or you just translate that into freestyle. And next thing you're trying stuff that you probably shouldn't and figure it out.
What was the first foam pit you did? Like when at what point was it like, okay, I could jump. I can now do tricks while I jump. Now I can flip. How does that go?
I never thought about it. I grew up racing BMX and I always loved to jump. And, when you're young, you have the real skinny ass BMX tires. I always used to try and jump shit I couldn't. And I'd always case it and pinch the tube. And I went through like 12, 15 tubes in 1 year. And my old man's like, stop trying to jump everything. Just rim bash, pop the tire. And yeah, so that's where I loved to jump. And then I had a moto bike to ride around in the back paddock. And I just started building jumps for that. When I was 12, I started racing motocross. I did a lot more supercross over the years than I did motocross just because I loved to jump. And then when I left school, I started a full-time job and was racing mainly supercross, not so much motocross. Because when I turned senior in Australia, you turn 16, you have to race with the pros. I was weighed like 110 pounds, dripping wet. So I couldn't hold on to a 125 for half an hour. So, I just did more supercross and actually focused on my job. And, fast forward a couple of years, started doing some heel clickers, hitting a ramp for fun. And then I'm like, I want to do a flip. And my parents like, no, you're not doing that. And so me and my buddy Cam went out and I just did it. And
to dirt?
Yeah. I had some hay on the landing, but yeah, I flipped the BMX, I flipped the mini bike and then just sent a 250F.
And did you have anybody to teach you this or to say, hey, this is how you do this? You need to, because Travis is very intricate in you've got to be.
Yeah, he's very good at getting you through
lean
the steps
back,
to get to it. Yeah, I didn't have any of that. It was just send it and see. That's why I started with the BMX, the mini bike. And then, Yeah, first one was straight to dirt. So that was
a 250F.
Yeah.
And how much did you weigh then?
Probably 105.
Yeah. How did you get that bike around?
Mate, it's all, where there's a will, there's a way. But the funny thing was there was a dude out there taking photos, and I went on some freestyle forum, and I was at work the next week, and my parents called me into the office. I worked at the family business, and they're like, "What's this?" And they bring it up on the computer screen. There's me upside down on my bike. I'm like, I did a backflip on the weekend. And they're like, I weren't too impressed, but just went on from there. So, a year later, I quit my job and started doing freestyle full time. And then a year after that, I was in X Games. So it kind of it was something I never thought I was going to do. I never thought I was going to be a professional dirt bike rider. I thought I was going to be a pump mechanic working for my dad, and I was focused on my apprenticeship. And it got to that year when I started flipping, and I'd be at the back of the factory with a welding mask on, just like that, daydreaming about riding. And my old man's like, "Hey, what?" And he's like, "Yeah, you don't want to be here anymore, do you?" I mean, most people don't want to go to work, but I used to like it. And then after doing all that stuff on dirt bikes, all I was thinking about was doing dirt bikes. So he's like, "All right, tell you're passionate about it. Finish your schooling and your trade, and then you can go do whatever you want. But I'm not going to have you sit here and work every day when all you want to do is ride your dirt bike."
So what do they think when you go and win X Games for freestyle?
I mean, they were obviously pretty stressed at the time. So, my dad's definitely got some grey hairs from that, because it is pretty stressful watching your kid go there and huck themselves. And obviously they see the highs and the lows. No one else is really around. I wasn't one of the cool kids, but I wasn't one of the nerds because I did something cool. So I kind of met in the middle. And it was just every Friday, they'd all be talking about the house parties they're going to for the weekend. And I'd be sitting on the curb waiting for my dad to pick me up with the moto trailer to head away for the weekend and go race. So it was kind of like school and everything else outside was separate. And I just couldn't wait to get out of school. I wanted to quit earlier, but they wouldn't let me. But, oh well, it is what it is.
And then at what point do you figure out that you can drive something with four wheels?
It's kind of Trav that got me into that. Like I knew, everyone thinks they're the world's fastest go-kart driver when you go to pole position or something.
Yeah.
But I could drive pretty good, and then it just every time we're on tour, it turned into go-kart battling with Trav. And I know, God bless him, he always puts $100 down each time, even though he knows I'm going to flog him. So, so a lot of battles with that. And then he's like, "You should try a shifter kart." And I didn't yet. Like I said, I didn't really think much of it. Got in a shifter kart, smoked him, and then he let me drive his rally car, and it was like, well, with age comes the cage. This roll cage stuff's pretty cool.
Wait, you kind of went from one level to the last level. So you drove a shifter cart, then you drove a rally supercar.
A rally, not just a rally car, a rally cross car. So they got way more horsepower. It's Travis's X Games car, and I'd never driven all-wheel drive, and he skipped the basic steps of learning to drive all-wheel drive for me, and he just threw me straight in his supercar. And it was amazing, but you don't really get that opportunity ever. And I got thrown into it when I had absolutely no experience. I'd love to go back and do it now, but thanks for doing that back to front, Trav. But I do appreciate the drive, but I didn't really get to enjoy it and drive the car to anywhere near its potential because I was still, I did all right in it, but nothing to.
Well, you're scared of it at that point because you're like, you don't understand what it does.
Yeah, it gets sideways, and all you're thinking that's $750,000 if you flip it over. So,
and then so you get in the supercar and then go back to learning how to drive.
Yeah, then I went to learn how to drive.
So that was the hook.
Yeah. So then I went to rally school up in Seattle. That was pretty fun. Dirtfish, and learned to drive Subarus. And honestly, the first day you do basically drive around two cones and you've got to lift, turn, brake and get the car to slide. And I couldn't do that to save my life. There was a kid and his mum bought him for a birthday present and she did it too, the rally school. And she got that bit down before I did because I was just like coming in, tipping it in like it was rear wheel drive and wondering why the car wouldn't slide. And like, whoa, slow down. And then by day 3, once you learn to drive all-wheel drive, steer with your feet, it's actually a pretty amazing feeling as you're going sideways around a corner where you'd normally panic and you just keep the wheel.
But you have so much control. We were doing this like 4 days ago.
But until you learn that control, you've got no idea. And as I said, I couldn't even go up and flick the car around a cone in a flat gravel yard for the first day.
It is unreal once it clicks that you can be pedal to the ground and be in full control, just steering with your feet.
And looking out the side window. You barely look out the windscreen. It's like, all right, look at that next cone. Right, I'm going to go this way next. And then you're over here. And once you figure it out, it's like same hand-eye coordination with a dirt bike. The things we do with our brake pedal and shifter and fingers on the clutch and brake as we're moving around, like that just transfers into a car. And as I said, you're looking out the window and your feet are going like, yep, a little bit here, a little bit of that. Your like I said, the steering wheel does stuff all in a rally car.
Well, that's what the biggest thing that people don't understand when they first get in a rally car, that moving the steering wheel a quarter of the way is about all you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, wait, what? We just did that. All you did was do this.
From the outside, the car looks like you're doing the Commodore wave in the front seat like that. But yeah, literally, if you watch all those rallycross races and stuff, they're fully sideways in that, and you should really focus on the front wheels. They barely go like that because it's all weight transfer. It's like if you're in a rear wheel drive, you see them come in, and then it's the wheels full lock that way as you're going sideways. But
that was like leading into my first time at Rally Ready with Dave. And it's like, hey, we're going to teach you to steer with your feet. I was like,
I sit up in the chair like this and put my feet on the steering.
Well, it's like, you start thinking about that. You're like, what? This doesn't make sense. How does one steer with their feet? But
you got to put the seat right back or sit in the back seat.
When you go and do the first mechanics course of, and that's front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, all wheel drive in dirt.
Yeah.
When you learn that, your driving in general just goes way up. Because now all of a sudden you're really learning what the mechanics of a car can do.
Yeah, well, what you can do with a car instead of just your average road car where it's swerve and slam on the brake, smash the throttle. It's literally, and then the biggest thing is patience and be smooth. Like if you start doing more than you need to, you just start getting out of control.
Yeah.
You get sideways, you don't correct it as quick as you can. You just move the wheel smoothly and don't panic if you're heading sideways towards something. Just a bit of throttle, gas out of it. And once you learn that and get that little bit of confidence, it's amazing how fast you can go through things and how out of control you'd look from the outside or what you would have thought was out of control. If you get in with a passenger with Travis, like you basically don't let go of the shit handle. That's what they call in Australia, where you grab it up there. Like you're literally like,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we're going to die. And then he's just, what do you think about that? This next gear.
He's not even looking. He's just talking to you.
So once you know what he's doing and how he's doing it, you're like, all right, yeah, I'm comfortable. Getting in with Travis at any point is scary as shit. But if you're in there, then you understand what he's doing. You're a little bit more confident.
Any person that has never been with someone experienced with rally driving doesn't understand how there's a disconnection of computing power.
There's just shit the whole time because anything you're going at, and you're like pushing back in your seat. You think there's no way.
You're accelerating into a turn, and they're like, no, why? And then you just tap those brakes, get the front end weight in there, and all of a sudden you're sideways.
The passenger's trying to push the invisible brake pedal as hard as they can. It's probably dents in the floor when they do all those passenger rides because they're just pushing so hard, trying to stop that the brake pedal's not there because they're freaking out. So, but yeah, as you said, dip the front, transfer the weight, get the back end hanging out, use the happy handle if you need it. So, but yeah.
It was early on that Travis told me not to use it. He said, because you'll get to, it'll be a cheater. So he goes, pretend everything that you drive doesn't have one. And the more that you can control the car with just the gas and brake pedal and weight transfer, the better you're going to be.
100%. Yeah. Like it's basically only really used in rallycross, you watch the onboard. If they didn't transfer the weight enough or there's another car at the inside and they couldn't flick it as far, they use it a little bit.
It's like an escape. It's like an escape. It's a last ditch. Like, oh, this isn't coming around like I wanted to. Let's get that last piece.
It's the mulligan to get you back in there. But yeah, so you basically, when I did rallycross, you only used it on the dead, like the straight hairpins right around, maybe just to flick it around. Or as I said, if someone was there and bumped you in the corner and upset your rotation and you had to get the back end around real quickly. But as you said, other than that, don't use it if you don't. Just try not to use it.
It's gonna promote bad habits.
Yeah.
If you're leaning on it all the time. What professional racing have you done then since you've jumped into four-wheel?
I did Red Bull Global Rallycross. I did like 7 rounds over 2 years in the lights class, which is pretty funny because I was over 30 at the time. And all the kids in there are like 16 to like maybe early 20s. And their dads are paying all the bills and they're just treating them like dodgem cars. And I do like a couple of months worth of backflips and then just show up at the event and jump in the car. And it'd take me a couple of practice sessions and, qualifying and a couple of races the first day to get back into it and be at a competitive pace, like within a second of the leaders. So, but yeah, I was always on the back foot because I just came in there after riding a dirt bike for the last however long. So yeah, the more I drove in a couple of weeks in a row, like the better it got. And everything was more natural. I was more relaxed in the car. But yeah, when you first get back in after a few months off and it's at a race, it's pretty hard to do good because you're so flustered and it's just not your natural. is a little natural, but yeah, it's hand-eye coordination, muscle memory, everything, and seat time, basically. That's all it is. If you don't drive stuff all the time, then it's hard to get back in that zone. Where someone like Travis, he can just jump in and switch on, but he's been doing it his whole life.
Yeah, but something that's just unreal about Travis is it doesn't matter what the task is. He figures out how to get good at it in the first 10 minutes.
Well, he's not,
even if it's like skee ball.
Yeah, he's not that good at drifting, though. I smoked him at drifting.
We're going to need to see this.
Ask him about South Africa. Ask Dove. Yeah. Yeah, he was useless at that. So maybe because it was rear-wheel drive only. But yeah, it's the Global Rallycross. I did 7 rounds there. I got 1 podium. I was up on the podium just spraying, popping bottles, spraying it, started chugging from it. And then the lady comes up and goes, oh, it's actually non-alcoholic cider because there was kids under 21 in the class. But I still chugged it just for the photo. And then I did Pikes Peak hill climb twice with Trav in a Porsche GT4. So that was wild. That place, that's a scary place.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
People die at Pikes Peak.
I came the closest you can come to going off a cliff without going off a cliff. So
is this on video?
Yeah, I mean, I can pull it up if you want to edit it in.
Well, we should put that in.
So, well, as this clip's playing right now, I thought I was going to hit the wall. It was right, I don't know, about 10 corners to go. And it's basically just a cliff on that side, probably 70, 80 mile an hour coming to the corner. And it got sideways and there was the wall on the inside. I'm like, oh, I don't want to hit it. And I saved. I was probably that far from hitting the wall. And then it flicked back that way. Next thing I just seen the edge of the road and just blue sky. And then I was heading that way and I snapped the steering wheel back. And as it spun around, the back wheels went off the asphalt into the dirt, which is like this much on the edge of the track. And then it spun right around. I was facing backwards, looking back the opposite way that I was coming on the edge of the road. But at the onboard, you can see in the rearview mirror, you can see my eyes. And yeah, I shit my pants and my eyes pop out my head when I almost hit the wall. And then it goes back that way and then they go again because I thought I was going to drive off the cliff. So yeah, it was wild. But I mean, I saved it. I didn't go off the cliff. That would have been my Pikes Peak career done the first day of practice forever. I did a 3-point turn, kept going up the hill and just kind of said I had a bit of a moment, didn't say nothing. And then Trav was like, oh, I had a moment at 2. I got sideways by the finish. And then we got back that night and watched the inboard and he come out and grabbed me. He's like, dude, it's like, I oversold mine. You undersold yours. That was, you nearly went off a cliff. It's like, you nearly destroyed that Porsche.
You know what he's scared. That's like,
yeah.
Uh-oh.
He's like, you didn't tell me it was that kind of moment. I'm like, hey, it was just a moment. Don't show the Porsche guys.
Well, you and I have a bit of a history now.
We do.
I think.
We do.
They don't know that we've had a long-lasting rivalry.
We do.
With no real motive behind it.
Yeah. It's
other than just
bickering.
Shit talk.
I think we're two loudmouth shit talkers. So if you can one up the other at any point, it's good to shut them down.
You and I did 1 lap. It was almost 4 years ago.
Well, you did 2 laps. For those of you who don't know.
I don't know if we've ever talked about it.
1 lap of America is 3,500 miles, 8 racetracks in 8 different days, and there's 2 drivers in 1 car, and you do a racetrack, drive 8-10 hours to the next stop, racetrack the next day, then drive to the next spot. Well, JT come along with Arpin in his Ford Focus RS, non-rally spec, just too many bolt-on mods from AutoZone. And the thing had that many failures or whatever, and he had to drive back to Dallas to get a new gearbox, and then here and there, and then the clutch went out. And I think you did 5,500 miles.
Yeah, something like it was 5,200 miles. Yeah, it was all said and done.
We're got a 10-hour drive to the next racetrack, and I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to swing by Dallas. It's an extra 9 hours, and then they'd show up at lunchtime at the track with a new clutch or something, and then something.
We went through 2 clutches, 2 transmissions.
So when it was all said and done, me and Sheeny over there won the overall. We smoked Trav.
Oh, yeah, you guys killed it.
And then, old Arpin and JT rocked up about a day and a half later. And I think we got
69th. We beat the girls.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah. All we wanted to do was beat the girls.
Yeah, they had a little bit too much horsepower for their skill level, but they were good. So, yeah, that was a fun trip.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say the 2 coolest portions I thought about that was the first time when it was 1:00 in the morning and we're on a single lane highway through Nebraska, just rolling it
was that the bump draft?
No, that was in the evening.
Yeah.
But it was 1, 2 in the morning. it's because we all stayed together.
Yeah.
So it was you guys, it was Travis and Marcus Luttrell and me and Steve Arpin.
Mm-hmm.
And like 1 a.m, single lane highway in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. We're doing 130, 140
Easy.
with 3 cars just right behind each other, just like in the dead of night.
That was a pretty fun trip. The trouble is with that when there's like 80 cars or something, all with the stickers and the numbers on the side. Once someone goes through the town in a nice car with a sticker, the old highway patrol.
That's why it works to wait back.
Yeah.
Let them get the first ones.
But then they just sit there on the side of the freeway because they know there's another 25 or another 80 dickheads coming through in expensive cars trying to go fast. We got pulled over at one point. I'd been driving for like 3 hours and I needed to pee so bad. I'm like, Sheeny, you want to drive? I'm going to pull up at the next truck stop. And he's like, yeah, sweet. And as I was coming up to the exit, a cop pulled up beside me and just stared at me. And I'm like, shit, you know how bad this is going to look when I take the next exit?
Yeah.
And I had to pee so bad. So sure enough, I took the exit. He dicks in behind us and pulls up the servo. And I go to get out. I'm like, mate, I really got you stay right there. And then he comes up and he's like, I had calls that there was a race car dodging in and out of traffic and going fast. I'm like, oh, yeah, there's like 80 of us on this trip. He's like, are they all white Subarus with number 22 on the door? And I'm like, oh, all right, you got me. And then he's like, all right, go pee. I come back out. And he's like, so what are you guys doing? And I pulled out the Yokohama booklet that explained everything. And it had Travis and Luttrell in it. And he's like, Marcus Luttrell? I'm like, he was my get out of jail free card. and he's like, is he here? I'm like, oh, he's in the other Subaru. He should be coming along soon. He's like, oh, really? Like, do you think he's going to stop at this gas station too? And then next thing you know, all the erratic driving that we got called in for was just forgotten about because Marcus was coming. So thanks, Marcus.
That happened more than a few times.
Oh, yeah.
So remember, we left after the second day first, and then you guys all passed us, pulled over.
Yeah.
and it was the cop came up, he took mine and Steve's licenses, he goes back to his car, then he comes back up, he goes,
Caleb, did you know with Black Rifle Coffee's Coffee Club subscription, you can get fresh coffee shipped to you every month? What? You don't even have to go to the store. Whoa. You don't even have to leave your bed.
What? Wow. How did you get in here? You might want to go ahead and join the Black Rifle Coffee Club subscription before one of these guys shows up at your place.
my son's with me and he's in the Army and he doesn't believe that it's you two in this car. Do you mind getting out?
It's amazing. Like in Australia, you probably would have had your car impounded and arrested, no matter who you are. But yeah, here the old Marcus Luttrell car was good. So it was always good to jump on the road when Trav and Luttrell were.
Yeah, you had to be near the blue car.
Yeah. Follow the blue Subaru. He could be the lead car. So. Yeah, you can get away with a lot in that.
Then the second one was the bump drafting. That was
pretty fun. Sheeny was driving. I was hanging out the window filming.
We've got video of this. I need to hand you off the video.
I got a copy of that. We can throw that up. As you can see, there's me hanging out the window right there. We've got a view from Steve Harpen's car.
We're doing easily 130.
I got both camera angles
touching us.
Yeah.
Like I've got the GoPro and everything, and the car was overheating because. As we would come up and get you, no air and the temp
your
would just
car was
rise.
probably overheating regularly and frying clutches and stuff. I think you were just trying to actually get a tow, like a tow road. Not the race term tow where you're going for error. You just needed a tow to the next stop.
But yes, we're bumping each other on the freeway.
Bumping uglies.
130 miles.
I know it wasn't a freeway. It was a back road out in the middle of somewhere.
Because we stopped at that little tiny bar. And then they all called their friends.
Yeah. This looks like a good spot. And then Travis and Luttrell walk in and there's the 5 people at the bar start making calls.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the bar has 40 people in it.
That was when it was time to bail. We had a long way to drive still. So
that is such, the one lap crowd is an eclectic group.
It is. What's it? Oh, I forget his name. The
old guy. Whiskey guy with the syrup.
What's his name? Howard. Howard in the
drives a Corvette.
He calls it the Corvette. And he's done, what is it, like 20-something one laps in a row?
No, he's done them for like 35 years.
That was a terrible guess. Sorry, Howard. But yeah, he when you rock up, he opens his boot and gives you the...
what does he call us? Lap pups?
Yeah, lap pups. And you got to do a shot of some honey whiskey or something else.
Lap puppies.
He holds the record for one lap for the most strip clubs visited in those 8 days. And it was, I don't know, something like 15. Trav was destined to beat it, but I didn't think he got like 1 or 2.
I'm really glad I did it. But 1 was enough for me.
Yeah, Yeah, like Yokohama looked after us good and Subaru with the cars. So, I mean, everything was awesome with that. And everything was just like, here you go, boys. Here's your trip and your fuel card. Away you go. And there's your roadmap. Here's all your hotel information. Like, I couldn't imagine what it's like planning all that stuff. So, yeah, like I said, we kind of got, blessed. Just here it is. And it was an easy thing. And I did it twice. And I mean, yeah.
You've done it twice?
Yeah. The first year I did it as Trav's teammate. So, we were together the first year in one car. So the next year, they're like, oh, let's send 2 cars. And then, like, who do you want to drive with you? I'm like, I'll get Sheeny. And then...
Did you pick?
Yeah, I picked Sheeny.
Yeah. Well, you have to... It's not just a good driver. You have to pick someone that you're going to be in a car with for 8 straight days.
Whoever I picked, that was my next point. I said it wasn't the whole trip and everything like that. It was for me picking a driver. It was someone that could put up with me for a week and locked in a car because you're basically locked in a. And
it's also not like it's not a happy time because what happens is you get to the track, you get in the line, and depending on when you get in that line is when you get to go. So if you're leaving the track at 3, 4 o'clock, and then you're looking at the map and it's like, we have 580 miles to drive today.
Yeah, you might not get there till 2 or 3 in the morning. Then you got to be at the track again at 7 8 a.m. And then, do your thing. Like, unpack the car, take the spare tire out for weight, all your suitcases. And that's when I stole Marcus's pillow.
Oh, but that was a big deal.
Well, I mean...
You almost got killed.
Yeah, I did. I almost got killed by a Navy SEAL for stealing his pillow. But the thing is, when you get to the track, you pull all the weight out, all your suitcases and stuff. And Marcus wasn't thinking. He put his pillows and stuff next to our pile. So at the end of the day, when you're in a rush, loading all the bags up, I just seen the stuff next to ours. I'm like, that's our pillows and shit. So I just threw them in the car. And as we're heading down the road, 10 minutes later, I get a text message because I see Marcus getting there, like putting the seat back, ready for the next road trip. Yeah. Text message comes through. Which one of you guys got my pillow? And then I'm like, Sheeny, speed up.
Well, there was that and the Spider-Man theft.
Yeah, someone stole his Spider-Man toy. But yeah, I mean, when he gets...
Someone stole it?
Yeah, okay, maybe. I did. But yeah, when Marcus...
I still think he's looking for it.
Is he is?
Yeah.
I would have given it back if I stole it. I would have just hid it in the glove compartment or under the seat or something. But when that happened, I was freaking out till we got to the next hotel. I was hoping we can get in and I could check in and get to my room before he see me. But I think he had to do a 10-hour road trip with no pillow in the car. So
he wasn't happy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and he's a big guy. I mean, he needs a bit of space in that Subaru.
Well, it's all those back problems.
Yeah, he needs some comfort. And I mean, I would have passed it out the window gladly if they come along beside us. But I didn't want to be anywhere.
Wait, we were doing that at one point.
Yeah,
we were passing things. We passed the Spider-Man.
Yeah, we passed a lot of things through the window. But yeah, if Marcus come up beside me and I had the pillow, it wouldn't surprise me if you just grabbed me by the arm and pulled me out of the car and dropped me. So, it wasn't really a plan. I was going to sneak the pillow back the next day, which I did. But yeah, it was a pretty scary 10-hour drive.
That rivalry has been a little bit more aggressive.
It has.
He likes to beat you up.
Yeah, he doesn't beat me up.
Well, yet. I mean, he likes verbally.
He likes to verbally bash me, and he's pretty good at it. And I mean, what can I say? He's an American.
Because fast forward a couple years, we go and do the P1 boats.
Yeah, that was fun.
You won, didn't you?
No, I got shafted because obviously we had a bit better than Monster.
Everybody did.
The Monster boat was faster, so everyone from Monster made it through the next round. They're like, all right, you got to rock paper scissors for who gets the crap boat, and then I was in the crap boat against Deegan in the Monster boat and he smoked me. So I was out there and then the Monster boat broke down and then it was the 2 guys in the final had to race the crap boat to go head to head. So it was like the final was actually a good race with Villapoto and Deegan because they were in even equipment. But anyone that jumped in the Monster boat was going to win for the first half of the day. So yeah.
We were doing well. We were doing real well. We had a fast boat.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Like,
and
we had the second fastest lap of the day with Evan and then our boat broke.
Yeah. So, I mean, it sucked because I got 4th because I lost rock, paper, scissors to Deegan.
Yeah, that doesn't...
But anyway, it is what it is. It was such a fun event. And then to, have Marcus there and shit talking. And
that was all he was looking forward to. The second he showed up, where's Bilko?
Yeah.
Where's Bilko? Where's my Spider-Man?
He come up and grab the microphone off me and he's like, yeah, this Aussie's full of shit. Don't talk to him. And any time I was trying to do something serious on camera interview, I just see him in the background just staring at me and then I'd shit myself.
But that's a whole nother thing to everything that you've done from freestyle motocross to auto racing and now boat racing. But you also get pulled to announce and just be a personality because everybody wants you on camera.
Well, a lot of the time too, especially when I started doing rally and like the Pikes Peak stuff, I was so like serious and focused. I do have a serious side and like, especially with Pikes Peak, like I want to concentrate and do everything, but everyone expects the Nitro Circus class clown to be there dicking around and messing up. And then Dove's like, I'll do this with the camera, it'll be funny. I'm like, dude, I go off a cliff in this Porsche, I'm going to kill myself. Like, I'm
Leave me alone.
I'm not normal me today. But yeah, we go to the boat race. I go get focused when I drive the boat. But as soon as you get out of the boat, it's just straight shit talking and fun. It's fun to do that. Like, you're not bagging anyone out or ripping anyone. It's just friendly rivalry. And Marcus really feeds into that. But yeah, he's an intimidating dude. So kind of tippy toe when I...
Yeah, remember you've made some jokes and then waited if that was okay.
I'm like, see how that one flies?
No, but yeah, for one lap, like you guys were competitive and you won. Out of our group.
We won our class, and then, I mean, an all-wheel drive Subaru, like nothing against the Subaru, it's an awesome car, but against like a McLaren and Porsche.
Well, that guy with the McLaren was out by round 2. Remember, he fucking flipped it.
He made it all the way to the second last day and he punched it into the dirt wall. Yeah. But I mean, like we drove the absolute wheels off them thing and went around the corners faster than people. But when you go down a long straightaway against like a Porsche.
Oh, yeah. When you guys went through the grass out there.
That was the very first day.
And then you followed each other.
Very first day. It was like whatever position you finish on the first day is your start order for the whole trip. So the better you qualify, the earlier you leave to start your road trip. And I sat right behind Travis. You meant to have a big gap so you can't see the other car. And I went, I'm taking off right behind him to chase him. We do our warm-up lap, pin it around the first corner, come in hot, and then both just run straight off the road. And it was a wet grass embankment. And Trav runs off. He's like, oh, no, I'm going to finish last. And he's sideways and he looks out his window and I just followed him straight off. And then I was sideways too, just sawing logs on the steering wheel with the throttle flat in 4th gear on this wet grass, just sliding into the middle of nowhere. And we're lucky there was no tire wall there. It would have been over in the very first day. But
holy shit, was it fun.
Oh, that was so much fun.
That was the race you guys didn't think we were going to show up to. And then we showed up.
Oh, look, they're here. There's the black rifle car just showed up. And then you hear,
it's limping in.
Yeah, that was, I think, you're in like 4th gear at one point going 30 miles an hour beside us and you punched us and the car just went, it was all clutch.
Yeah. Yeah. And to just make you feel better, that car is in pieces in Michigan right now. Still.
How long has it been in pieces? Well, since that?
So
that is 3 years.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's got a new motor, new transmission, new clutch.
I think just peel a wrap off and sell it.
I'm not giving up on it.
Are you? Yeah.
No, I'm not giving up on it.
That's JT. He's always focused on the task.
Highlight of the trip, remember Road America?
Oh, when you beat Trav?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sheeny's over there in the corner. He was my co-driver. He actually beat Trav in the wet and Sheeny was...
Come on in.
Sheeny was absolutely stoked and Travis was absolutely devastated. I mean, they were calling Sheeny the B driver, and I said, "No, he's the same as me." But
saved me for the good track.
Yeah. So Sheeny come on board and killed it. Here he is now. Want to say hello, Sheeny?
Yeah, g'day. How you going?
Do I have to hold this thing the whole time?
Yes, you have to hold it the whole time. That's now your new job.
Look at his muscles, though. He's way stronger.
You guys
than me.
can change seats in a minute, and we'll introduce him properly.
We'll turn it upside down, and we can all sit on it.
All right, so what was the highlight? He beat Travis where?
He beat Trav at Road America. And the funny thing was, I had a T-shirt made, because the year before I beat him in a couple of tracks, and someone gave me a T-shirt that says, I beat Travis Pastrana. So I packed it in my backpack for this trip. And sadly, every time Trav and I went out together, he just beat me. But then on the 3rd day at Road America, Sheeny beat Trav. So I gave him the T-shirt and let him wear it. And yeah, Trav almost tripped over his bottom lip. He wasn't happy.
No, he gets mad if he's losing.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the only time you see him unhappy.
Yeah. Like Rallycross, the first round of NRX a couple of weeks ago, he was on the pole, he had that thing in the bag, and he made it to the first corner, and he blew it. So I know he was really pissed off at himself, and so you should be, mate, you blew it. But he's got the speed, he came out swinging to the next one, so I think he just needs a little bit of luck, because normally he's starting mid-pack and scrapping his way around. Like, he's got the speed to win it this year, so if he makes a little mistake like that, he's going to be pissed. So.
Oh yeah, he's still in the running to win it. Right?
Yeah, 100%. So I mean, it's only 2 rounds out of 5 so far, but he's qualified first and second at the first 2 rounds. So yeah, that one little mistake would have been good on the 4th or 5th lap, but he did in the first corner and went from first back to 7th or something. So sorry, Trav, to call you out, but I'm rooting for you, mate. I think you can win this.
We all are. I want to see you win.
Sheeny's not. Sheeny will smoke you.
But then it comes down to like, you won your own series.
Yeah. Hey, that's the funny thing.
Wait, didn't you design all the tracks?
We were on a group text the other day and someone said, I think it was Carmichael or Chad, and he's like, oh, yeah, I designed the course. It's my car and everything, and I still get smoked. And then Chad said, yeah, pretty much like speed and style. Trav invented that sport. I think it was the one time in San Diego, and he was like the fastest dude by a mile, and then crashed in the first corner in the final. Not in the first round. He didn't even make it any further. He crashed out in the first race. So, but yeah, Trav invented that sport, and then yeah, he won every time he entered it, except for that time in San Diego, and yeah, he just blew it. But same as rally, my course, my rules, everything, and I still can't win.
He doesn't really change the rules, so
Yeah. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
So what are you doing next year?
Oh man, retiring from freestyle? No.
Are you?
It's
probably hurting now.
I'm 36 now, and
I just fucked this up right here.
Yeah, I just got 5 stitches in my chin last week. My handlebar punched me upon landing. That wasn't a mistake by me, though. That was the airbag landing. When you sink in it, it ripped my foot off as soon as I landed. I had no idea I was going to crash. It was all happy days. And all of a sudden, as my wheel was about to touch, next thing I'm getting an uppercut.
Are you doing a backflip on a dirt bike?
No, it was a turn down,
okay.
which I'm not as good. I can do backflips way better than I can do turn downs. Right, Sheeny?
yeah.
So, I threw a big one and everything was looking good. As soon as I landed, my foot come off, uppercut, bang, fell over, dusted up my knuckles. But, yeah, so if it wasn't for COVID, I'd probably be pretty much at the end now, because that whole 16-month off, we were meant to do a shitload of shows and everything, and it was probably, you get to that age, and that's enough. So, But now with the whole COVID thing, I didn't make any money for like 16 months. So it was like, all right, now I got to get back on the horse and slug it out for one more year to kind of make up for spending more money than I earned for the last 16 months. So, yeah, that's probably stretched out dirt bikes for a bit longer, but eventually the goal is to do car stuff. And if that doesn't happen, then I'll be a pump mechanic. Go back to my trade when I was 18 to 21.
Well, look, your expectations are very...
I like to keep it...
Very real.
Yeah, I like to get realistic, yeah. So,
or you can go to hosting. There's always going to need to be hosting.
I need subtitles.
That is true.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of...
We are doing subtitles for this one, right?
If this has been aired in Southern California, you'll need subtitles.
No one knows what he's saying.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the plan. I mean, I didn't do Pike's Peak this year, which turned out to be not a bad thing, because they only ran the race halfway up the hill because of the weather. But, I mean, I'd love to go back and do that again next year. It's just, like with COVID and everything, to get sponsors to do car racing stuff, there's not a lot of funding around, and even like NASCAR and all that stuff, they struggled just to keep afloat because of all...
You got to find audiences.
Yeah, everything.
Things are getting boring to people.
Yeah, exactly. So too much TikTok going on. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome. I'd love to do some more stuff next year. It's just trying to figure out how to plan and how to do it, and then how to fit it in with what Nitro Circus shows are happening next year, because I think they're going to try and come out swinging when the world's opened up and do a bunch of tours to make up for what we missed over the last year and a half. So if that's the case, like, I'll probably be flying all around the world for all next year. But if there are opportunities to do car stuff, I mean, I can just skip some of the Nitro stuff, which would be awesome, but it just depends on how that is financially.
Yeah. So how long have you guys been friends?
We've been friends. I'll let Sheeny answer this one.
Whoa.
You can tell him everything about me, mate. Maybe not everything.
No, I can't talk as fast as you. Can't do that.
You can scoot up.
Must have been about...
2007.
Was it? Oh, that's right, yep.
We were talking about it the other day.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yep. Good mate, Floppy, made a few calls, got me into a couple of shows and competitions over East, and we loaded up the bike in my old BYSS.
Because you live out...
Yeah, West Coast.
Like where there's nothing out there.
Yeah, 2.5 hours just to an airport, and then it's like 30, I think it was 38, 40 hours to drive to the East Coast. So we drove over, did a couple of shows and competition. One was at Calder Park, he was judging, and I jumped to the flat.
But I don't think I watched. I was just sitting there with my foot up, and I just made up some scores at the end.
I do remember over jumping, then you saying, "Oh yeah, better check those forks" or something, and then I'll just keep going.
Yeah, the stupid shit that he says.
Maybe.
Oh, did you guys find third gear?
It wasn't third. You came to our house, didn't you?
Yeah, it did.
How old were you at that point?
21, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was started pretty late in
Yeah, you're a little older
motocross.
than the crew.
No, he's younger.
What? Harry's like 25, isn't he?
I'm 36.
Oh yeah, only just younger, but he started well before me with the motocross and stuff. Yeah, I was just motivated. I was starved of the motocross for the years. So, when I got my bike, I basically lived on a farm, so I rode bikes as a kid, but didn't buy my own until I was about 14. Then when I had my license at 17, friends and I would drive to all the motocross races around and just hit ramps for fun on the weekends. And yeah, it's amazing. A couple of years.
And then you're the first person to do a triple backflip on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
No, the only person.
Yeah. Actually,
the only person.
I remember watching the guys like Travis and everyone flipping, and Mum saying, "Oh, you're never going to do that." And
I got the same speech.
Yeah. And I remember watching Travis do the double flip in 2006, and I hadn't even backflipped then. It was later that year that I did the same as what he did, got a BMX. I think we jumped into a dam, water, just to play around, then did the mini bike on the back of the landing for FMX lander. And then after that, I thought, actually, I reckon I can flip a big bike. And yeah, it was like...
How was that first one?
End of 06. I nearly landed and rode away. I had it in my head. I knew sort of the physics and
You know you can
awareness.
get to your wheels, and if it's a little bad, then it's fine. But some people just try it when they've got no idea, and then they can just land completely upside down.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I knew what it took to make the bike rotate, and once I had the momentum, I was good. But
all it needs is these things together to rotate.
I had a
He
452,
is,
so
he
that
is
helps.
the best in shape freestyle guy,
Yeah,
I think.
buff.
Yeah.
I like
Men's health.
I like to look at him when he's got his shirt off.
Yeah. Harry's trying, but he's not there yet.
No, Harry's got me. He spends way more time in the gym.
Harry's lacking in the mental capacity, though.
Good value though. He's a good one.
So
to grab.
triple. How do you go from single backflip to 3?
You add 2 more.
Yeah, funny actually. Travis, I guess ever since he did his double flip, he wanted to get a triple done, but it wasn't until Bag Jump came out with those airbags that we were able to just play around with different ramps in different places. So Travis asked me and Tom Pages and I to come out and test out some ramps, and he just wanted to see what was possible. And I think we ended up going through about 17 ramp changes, and thankfully we could just jump to this great big airbag.
How tall was the ramp in the end?
10, it was 10.5 metres. I think it was 33 feet.
And you get that in third gear pin?
Yeah,
Oh,
third
yeah.
gear.
You guys were going.
50 something like that?
Yeah, it was about 51 or 52
You're like 80
on the
feet
radar.
in the
gun.
air.
Close to 100, I think.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We can get this video, can't we? Yeah, we'll get this video.
It was insane. The first day Travis showed us that ramp. It's just,
Thomas was like, nah, I'm going home.
yeah.
Didn't somebody show up? We're like, about.
Yeah, we had to rock, paper, scissors for who hit it first. It was stupid.
I would have done it if I was there. Sorry, did you say something?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Did you just jump it first? Or did you?
But the thing was like, mind you, it was maybe only 58 or 60 degrees, no, 70 degrees when we first made it. Ended up being about 10 or 12 degrees steeper, like around 79, 80 degrees in the end. But yeah, we literally eyed it up from about 50 metres back, thinking, I reckon maybe third gear. Travis is, I think fourth gear, it's pretty steep.
Travis. Yeah, it goes 90 miles an hour, you're fine.
I lost it, so I had to hit it first, and I was third gear. I was just fairly cruising, and I jumped. It's so steep, you can't even get. It was just air wheelie the whole way. My back wheel caught the bag, basically compressed the bag, and then the front wheel dropped off onto the dirt. And I remember just like throat chopping the handlebars.
The backside?
Yeah.
Like you don't did the whole thing?
Yeah, so the back wheel just caught the end of the bag and then just slapped onto the dirt. All right, make it steeper.
Yeah. Because didn't Trevor Jacobs try that jump and he jumped off the trees?
Yeah, thankfully that was before he took the trees out and made it a bigger landing. But yeah, Trevor Jacobs, is very talented, but just didn't. I really underestimated the G-force with the hitting a ramp that fast, and just buckled his legs a bit and sent him off the side.
Right. Yeah. And then as he was flying up, he was heading. He wasn't going to land. Him and the bike weren't going to land in the airbag.
Just hit the.
And so he foot planted the tree, and then the bike landed off to the side and just pretty much destroyed the bike. And then he popped his feet off the tree and jumped back onto the airbag. It was like something out of a video game.
Yeah, it's like a cat.
Yeah. And that pretty much saved his legs and his life and his career in any other sport.
So then they fixed the ramp. You guys, and that's what's crazy because you guys were there when Travis did the Aussie roll, right?
I wasn't.
Nah, we were probably touring somewhere.
Yeah, you were there because you were helping me move the damn ramp.
No, we needed the Aussie roll. I wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
was there for
normally, like, Travis has got all this stuff going on at home, and, me and Sheeny are off doing the live shows around the world to, line his pocket so he can stay at home. We were touring somewhere, and then sometimes, if it's over Christmas, between tours.
No, it was just in front of your face.
Between tours, we'll go be at home in Oz for Christmas and stuff like that. And so it just depends where we are in the world. It just didn't
Grab one of these from the bar.
Didn't match up when Trav was doing the Aussie roll. We were.
Well, it's just so my point in that was like he starts it by hitting it first, and then he's like, "Oh no, we got to move this back. We gotta put something under the front so it angles it differently." And it's all just guess.
Well,
it's
no one else even comments because you'd be like, "Oh, you can't even say I think you should do that," because none of us do. Well, Sheeny does double flips. I don't do double flips. I don't do 360 flips. I don't do any of that. I don't even want to hit the ramp that gap and that size. So it's not like you can rely on other riders to say, "Oh, I reckon you should do it this way," because no one else in their mind can comprehend what he's about to do, a double backflip 360. Yeah. So when he says move it back, it's like, all right, you just do what you say and we'll agree with it. And if it's extremely stupid, you're still going to do it anyway, so we'll just keep our mouth
shut. And then he did it. He did a double flip. Then he ditched the bike twice. We dug things out, moved the ramp, angled it, everything, and then he just nailed it. And it doesn't look, it looks so intensive. I don't know how his head knows what to do. Like you were literally just spinning and hitting the gas.
Enough times, like with the gymnast training, with the body rotation, Sheeny knows all about it. Like to do halfway of the first flip, look over your shoulder, and I'm just guessing what Travis has told me how it works, but he does know where he is.
It was funny though. He, I think after doing the triple flip, Travis, he loves to rub things in. And I remember getting a text message just like, "Hey, just landed the Aussie roll, up yours." And summed it up. It was 4 or 5 jumps, and it was something like ditched one, knocked myself out twice, shat myself, and then landed it. So, he did a good job.
He sharded?
On the second to last one.
Oh, right. We got photos of that.
Yeah, well, it's on video where he's like, "I'm going to go change." Yeah, because, when you look, I can give Matt some of the clips of him ditching. He's ditching 60 feet above the lander, which is,
and this is a lander, not an airbag. It's a lander.
It's a light airbag, I think, or it's just got the turf.
It was not soft.
Oh, that's right. It had like a mattress.
Yeah, he was hitting that turf. It had the spring underneath, but it's still like, what? Yeah, it's coming straight back down onto your ass.
You can only wear so much body armor before you.
And then with the triple flip, are you just looking back and hitting the gas and hoping that the physics line up?
Pretty much. It's just a bit different with, the jump was so much bigger than anything I jumped, but the rotation was way slower than a regular double flip. So we felt like I needed to jump higher to make it a safer landing, but then to jump higher, a higher landing, you need way more air time. But then the faster you go, the slower you rotate. So it was just a balance of trying to get the maximum rotation out of it.
And that landing too is like this. It is built so you come down.
And it was all wood. That wasn't airbag, not turf. No, that was straight wood.
I think it was 55 degrees in the end. The idea behind it was, if we make it steep enough, we know exactly where you're going to land, because I was hitting, with the radar gun on the takeoff. But if it's steep enough and something goes wrong, I'll be able to slide out of it. It was hard.
It
was hard.
I'll slide out with a dislocated hip and a broken femur and
and a face up there,
and wake up next week.
So how many golds do you have?
25.
Is that you have the most, right?
No. X Games gold.
Who has the most? Yeah,
Travis.
Oh yeah,
not in freestyle.
Jared does now. McNeil does now, but that's I'm not disrespecting whip and step up, but I just find they're gnarly. But to win a freestyle gold medal where you have to do 90 seconds of the gnarliest shit back to back in one run, that's
intensive.
That's intensive. And like I said, I'm not taking away from McNeil. He's got more golds than anyone. But Travis's golds that he does have, the years he won freestyle, every year he came out, he was just pushing the limit and doing gnarly stuff that just blew everyone away in a run, just back to back. Like best trick is gnarly.
You did too. That year you won gold. You were doing all kinds of fucking wacky shit.
That was
Was it after gold when you blew me out?
Yeah, I didn't know I won yet, and I finished my last run, and I rode off and ghost rode my bike on the Supercross track and blew my ACL. So yeah, that was successful. But yeah, so Trav's I think he's got the most freestyle golds, but I think Jacko's probably got the most best trick golds. Sheeny's got a freestyle gold, and as I said, I think they're the best trick's gnarly because it's just roll the dice on one trick. But freestyle, to win that, you need to have a variety of the gnarliest tricks. You have to do at least 10 of the gnarliest tricks, 360 double flips, flip combos, upright tricks. Sometimes he hit the quarter pipe in his run. Like that variety there is, you have to be so good at so many different things.
So the thing that's crazy, we're the same age. You're younger?
35.
Yeah. So
Spring chicken.
We grew up like in the crest of moto, like 98, 99 when Wyndham won 125 class in 97, and was the first one to do a heel clicker during a fucking Supercross race.
That was
when
cool.
McGrath was 7 times number one, rolling a fucking knack on that after being a lap ahead of everybody.
The tassels on his helmet. And
dude, everything like Jeff Emig, all this stuff. Mike Metzger, like when we watched Krusty Demons of Dirt come out the first time, bought that VHS at the Honda shop in Bremerton, Washington, where I got it.
I think it took a couple of extra years to get to Australia on the VHS.
Yeah. But we saw this when a knack was a crazy thing to comprehend.
Yeah.
And now you've done a triple backflip on a motorcycle. The progression, like I was down on the field at World Games in 2018 when Matt Hoffman was down there, and I got to ask him, I'm like, what do you think of like when you guys were doing best trick? I'm like, what's going through your head watching this shit happen with a dirt bike? And he goes, this isn't real.
Something you can never imagine. Yeah. When I first started flipping, knack flip and a heel clicker flip, and they were kind of the big tricks. And I just started thinking what I could do upside down. And then I thought that was gnarly now. And I kind of backed off all that. And then I watched Sheeny do double flip combos and Pages do body varials and Jacko and Alderberg doing front flip combos. So now I'm already looking at that going, yeah, wow, I never want to do that. So. And
that's the thing. Where does it go from here?
I don't really want to know, man. I'm just glad I'm not doing it. So.
I mean, do you think they finally designed the motorbike able to whip, the tail whip? They finally come up with something that gets the body around?
I don't really think that's that cool. It's a lot of weight to whip around, and for the time and effort and resources it take to build a custom bike to do that.
But it's kind of like, what's the next phase?
Maybe 10 years when technology's not, the bike might even be friggin' electric or something, but it'll be some stealth carbon fiber thing or whatever, and you will be able to tail whip it. So that's, when I'm sitting on my couch at 50 with arthritis, I'll be sitting there, and they probably will be doing flip whips and stuff on.
Well, it's like, do you think anyone else is going to try and do the Aussie roll?
No, definitely not. 10, 15
who even has the technology to try it?
I know. I guess eventually bikes, we're getting electric mountain bikes and then electric motorbikes. There's kind of, you're getting the in between. So something that's not quite as powerful as a motorbike, but lighter and more like a mountain bike, you could just do a bit.
But is it the same at that point? If you see this progression go to where a freestyle motorbike is more like almost like a lightened version of a trials bike, is it really the same back in the day when you guys are whipping a 450F around?
What we're doing now on the bikes we're on, it's basically the same as what you said, like 1980, whatever, when Krusty and all that first come, 1990 when Krusty came out, and Supercross, that's all the same. So if technology gets that gnarly in 20 years, like Supercross might not even look the same. So freestyle might not look the same.
Yeah, but it's still, if you jump on a 1998 YZ250, it's still generally the same weight, same thing. Like you can still trick all your stuff on that bike.
Exactly. You probably have to hit the ramp third gear on a CR125. But if we fast forward 15 years and the technology's totally crazy and the bikes don't even look like the dirt bikes,
and they don't weigh it, you're talking about probably going down to a sub 100-pound bike with battery technology and everything, like both wheels being powered. Like that would change the game.
There is the bike that Levi's building now.
Yeah,
and that's what 20 kilo lighter. So
It's a lot. Yeah, he built his own frame. He built like all these carbon fiber plastics. Yeah.
So he built something that's...
He built his own motorcycle.
How much lighter is it?
It's about, what, 15 kilos or something?
I think it's more like 20 kilo lighter, but he'd been playing with his own carbon fiber parts for a while and
I'll show you a
into
picture of it.
titanium. So I think he's made a full titanium frame.
I don't think the frame's titanium.
Isn't it?
No, because the titanium doesn't flex.
And it's just like, what?
A lot of tight parts.
After being used to the sheer weight and then coming with that 20
Well, he's
kilograms
been
lighter is a big jump.
He's been doing a bit by bit, like carbon fiber plastics here. Then he had a carbon fiber full subframe thing. So he's been gradually building up to less weight and less weight. So for him to jump on that, like if we jump,
You're talking about like getting in the air and being able to flip your bike this way, like a kick flip.
Yeah, the bike does the varial. But I mean, BMX has been the same since day one, except for those knee-shaped handlebars. It's still basically the same concept.
Flipping a motorbike.
That's all the same concept, but I guess if all the technology changes and it's even gnarlier than what Levi's got right now, in 15 years, the sport will look different. And we'll sit back there like, yeah, I would have done that on that bike. That's what we'll say. But it's
We'll bag them out like the old guys are bagging us out. Airbags.
Yeah, and not cutting down our fenders and stuff. So.
Well, you guys post fucking awesome content. Where can people follow you on Instagram?
At Bilko FMX, if you want to follow me, even though I'm lost.
Yeah, well, you got all kinds of fun stuff, and you?
Yeah, Sheeny FMX.
My Instagram has subtitles. I copied him.
Two of the best, though. You guys are the most fun to hang out with.
I'd say that.
Without almost getting killed.
I'd say that, yeah.
I've almost been killed by Harry. I've almost been killed by Travis a lot.
Yeah, I haven't put you in any danger at all.
No, you're just laughing to death.
That's why you wouldn't let me shoot guns at your house. Because you don't want to get in danger with me.
Well, thank you guys for coming. This has been great.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Thanks, JT. Thanks, Black Rifle. We'll see you at the next one. Pull your pants up. It's all over.
That concludes today's training. Any questions?